No, I listen to it all the time. I tell all my friends to smack it raw.
Following podcast contains mature content. The views and opinions expressed by the host are not necessarily those of the host. Listener discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Smackin' Raw podcast, episode 166. I am your host, the Warden, Matt Ritter, and I am here, as always, with my co-host, Sir Cussalott, Travis Pointer, a.k.a. the Dragon King, a.k.a. Big T, a.k.a. Sweet T, a.k.a. T-Money, a.k.a. Black Merlin, a.k.a. the HNSE, a.k.a. Super Saiyan 2 Black Nappa.
What's happening?
And returning to the Smackin' Raw podcast from the Havoc Hour and Young Kings Wrestling, and probably the worst GM in wrestling mock draft history, Mr. Reek Havoc. What's going on, man?
Trash.
What's up, fellas?
Trash.
I had to come out of radio silence after what I perceived to be a blur of an evening. I do not recall the events that happened on the night in question.
After that debacle.
So, transparency 100% here. Reek and I are sideline spectators in a bit of a beef that is between the Smackin' Raw podcast and the Young Kings podcast.
Hold on.
Travis and TC.
Hold on. Because here's the thing that I need to put out there. You ran down my long list of AKAs, sir. What was the second to last one that you spit out there?
HNIC.
Yeah, the HNIC. The head nigga in charge around here, people.
Not with a hard R, with an A.
I run this shit. All right? This is Matt's show. Matt is the host of the Smackin' It Raw podcast. But the Smackin' It Raw
I book all the guests.
But the Smackin' It Raw podcast is on the Creation World brand. Nothing on this show happens without my say-so. And this motherfucker TC got on Twitter and had the nerve, the audacity, the temerity, Matt, the unmitigated gall to dare to not respect my authority. And
so TC was supposed to be on the show tonight.
Who's not here?
Well, he was supposed to be on the show tonight. I got the okay.
Who is not here?
And then I hit TC up about 2 hours ago to let him know that after I invited him, despite the back and forth and the peace treaty that I tried to get signed, you had agreed to have him on under some terms and conditions. I don't know if you want to talk about those terms and conditions.
I kind of want to hear them.
No, those terms and conditions still apply if he decides to try to show his face around here. And and as of right now, he's clearly afraid to, so it don't even matter.
TC did not respond. I know Vince had a hard time getting a hold of him last night when we were trying to shoot that mock draft that we did that no one will ever hear.
He hiding. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. He can hide. Let him hide.
Oh, boy. You put me in a real tough position here.
You ain't got to say nothing. You just sit there. This ain't about you right now.
With that said, seeing as we have a representative from the Young Kings Wrestling podcast, as we do at the beginning of every show, we would like to let you guys know that you guys can go to whatamaneuver.com and order a Black Lives Matter shirt designed by TC from Young Kings Wrestling. These shirts come in all different shapes and sizes, and the money goes to causes that support the movement. It does not go directly to Black Lives Matter organization. It goes to hand-picked organizations that support the movement for justice and equality and all of the things that we advocate on this show. So please take your money and put it towards something good. And also, after you've done that, if you've got some extra scratch, go buy a Smackin' Raw shirt because they're fucking dope.
And this month, too, they're coming in pink For
They're
breast
coming
cancer
in pink
awareness
for
month.
breast cancer. Yes, for breast cancer awareness. Also,
Save the titties.
coming up, you can do it now. We have been telling you to go do it. Go vote. This is the first election I have ever voted in. I never gave a shit about politics. And then my excuse when I started caring was, well, I live in Illinois, and Illinois always goes Democrat. So there's no point in voting because Democrats always win. And I was right. Hillary won Illinois. Obama won Illinois every year. I had no issues to go vote because I never thought about local government. I only thought about big picture. But to get things done and get things changed in your community, you need to go vote. And there is a lot of information out there, and there are a lot of things going on with a bunch of different people. Ice Cube was a big topic on Twitter recently.
I have a really hard time understanding why people give so much of a shit about what Ice Cube said. But anyway, go ahead.
We just ask you to please go vote and make your voice heard. Whatever you believe in, whatever candidates, local or otherwise, that you think represent your voice the best, please go do your part to get them in office. That's all we ask.
Listen. I've said this for years when it comes to voting. It's, I'm not even talking about local stuff because that's important. Get in there, vote in your local officials that you believe speak to your issues. But as far as the big boys are concerned, the presidential election, the senator, Senate seats and all that, I've always been one that said, yes, I know neither one of these are pretty. But here's the thing. If you know you're going to get fucked either way, wouldn't you rather vote for the dude who's holding the can of lube? I mean, logically.
I mean, I thought you were going to say vote for the guy with the smaller penis, and I was like, that's not the person we want you to vote for.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not that dude. Because he won't use any lube. He wants to hurt you in the process. The other one at least wants to pretend that he's going to make you feel good while he's doing it. And where you make the real change, like Matt said, is in your local stuff, in your local government, the small election, your mayors, your aldermans, and all them. Your district attorneys, God damn it.
Yeah, that's actually that. I feel that on a personal level because my dad actually just been doing a radio show in my area, and we recently had a fundraiser for a woman that's running for representative for our district.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Do whatever you can. You guys good?
I am.
Cool.
Perfect. All right, Travis, you got a panda gif?
I will have a panda gif.
I don't know if this matters or if this is going to help with YouTube, but none of the music used on the Smackin' and Raw podcast is owned by the Smackin' and Raw podcast.
None of it, but they don't care. Because for some reason, I like that one. Okay. I think we'll be okay as long as we don't use any music that's, not owned by WWE, that's somehow owned by WWE.
I understand it.
Let's see.
It's two pandas.
No, it's three of them actually. Hold on.
I'm having a real hard. It's blurry.
Yeah, it's the.
Describe that to us,
You
Travis.
like slamming him or something?
He fell out of the tree.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Let me see. That help?
No.
God damn it. Hold on. Let's see.
Yeah. Okay. I can see a panda falling out of a tree.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. That makes sense.
Let me ask you a question, Travis, real quick.
Ask me a
That song I just played.
Mm-hmm.
Who was on that song?
That was Fat Joe
And
Ashanti. Hold on.
Oh, serious question.
Oh, Big Pun.
Okay. One of those names is going to be very important later.
Okay.
Hold on to that and listen to it. Listen for that. There's a reason I picked that song. One of those names is going to be very important later. Let's roll into news and rumors, though. Apparently, our guest has some big news and rumors for us that he wanted to save for the segment. So we are going to save that for last, which is good because I don't really have a lot. First and foremost, for you fans of Impact Wrestling and indie wrestling, Joey Ryan, better known as the Dick Flip guy, is suing everyone and their mother. He's suing his accusers for lost wages. He's suing Impact Wrestling for breach of contract. He's just not doing anything to help his case whatsoever.
Isn't this like his 5th attempt at a lawsuit or something like that? Mm-hmm. Like, bro, give it up. Just stop, man.
He tried to say that the accusations is why he lost money, discounting the fact that there's a fucking pandemic and none of the independent shows that he would have worked are running shows, which would account for the loss of money because no one's actually getting paid to wrestle outside of major companies. So now he's suing Impact for breach of contract. And Raw Underground apparently is canceled. They got rid of the dancing ladies, and it is now officially just dead.
Good. It was trash anyway.
Yeah, after that first week, it just went downhill.
Had potential.
Mr. Havoc, what do you have for us?
All right. So I will preface my comments by saying that one of the people reporting this is Dave Meltzer, so take it with a grain of salt.
We don't like him.
But at me either. It is being reported that Vince McMahon is expecting to see Ronda Rousey back in time for WrestleMania. She has been apparently seen training recently, so there is no timetable yet, but it's expected that she will be coming back soon because the plan is, as far as they want, the direction they want to go here, Becky's due in December, so hopefully they want to try and make that rematch happen between the two of them one-on-one for WrestleMania next year, which they're saying they might try to shoe in as the main event. I don't see it, but if it makes the card, that's fine.
It won't, but go ahead.
But yeah, they're expecting both of them to be back and to start a program with them in time for WrestleMania.
Not happening, man. You're married. Your wife just gave birth, right? Is she prepared to do anything of that nature 3 months later?
Oh, hell no.
That's what I'm saying.
yeah. Not happening.
No. I mean,
not happening.
My wife's also not Becky Lynch, but...
Yeah, but is she herself 3 months later?
No.
Like physically, no, none of them. None that I know of are like completely themselves 3 months after having a baby. It's just not the same. You gotta come back from that. That's no easy task, growing a human being inside you and then expelling that human being from your body.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Last but not least, as I mentioned earlier, we did a mock draft last night.
Did you?
Mr. Reek Havoc was supposed to be a part of that, was unable to make it. Travis was given very short notice, was unable to make it. So we got Vince and I for his Straight Talk podcast and Katie Rasslin from the Smacked Raw podcast to join us. I represented Monday Night Raw. Vince, of course, represented NXT. And Katie represented SmackDown. She had about 15 minutes while we were getting set up to prepare her draft. But she came out pretty damn good, I will say. So here's what we did.
Try to draft Moxley, did she?
No, she didn't.
Okay.
So here's what we did. We let Katie go first because she had the least amount of time, so we let her get the first pick. It was Katie, then Vince, then me. We went serpentine style, so I had the third and fourth pick, and then it went Vince again, and then Katie. We went back and forth that way. 25 picks. We did borrow from the Young Kings Wrestling podcast that we were not going to draft champions. So every brand kept their champion, their main champion. So your heavyweight champion, your U.S. or North American or IC champion, your tag champions, and your women's champion. The cruiserweight title was up for grabs. The 24/7 title and the women's tag titles were all up for grabs. So for the Smacked Raw podcast, Katie's roster was Tommaso Ciampa, Pete Dunne, Buddy Murphy, Seth Rollins, Andrade, Johnny Gargano, Shinsuke Nakamura, The Miz and Morrison, Timothy Thatcher, Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, Swerve Scott, Legado del Fantasma, Sheamus, Kevin Owens, and Humberto Carrillo, along with Dominic Mysterio and R-Truth for the men. And for the women, yes, Travis?
Who was her first overall pick?
Her first overall pick was Becky Lynch.
Okay.
For the women, she had Becky Lynch, Tegan Knox, Mickie James, Mandy Rose, Caden Carter, and Kacy Catanzaro as a team, Candice LeRae, Carmella, and Mercedes Martinez.
Okay. I was wondering, when you listed the men, I'm like, she had the first overall pick. Who was her first? Okay, got you. I forgot.
Vince, who ran NXT, like Reek did in their draft, had Keith Lee, the Undisputed Era, Randy Orton, the Usos, Rey Mysterio, AJ Styles, Ricochet, King Corbin, and he said King Corbin would be Constable Corbin on NXT, but would be running Full Sail University, not the NXT brand. So basically, he's making Corbin the dean of Full Sail, even though they're not running shows at Full Sail anymore.
See, this is why I don't like having him on the show, Matt, because he says shit like that.
Cesaro, Robert Roode, Angel Garza, Kushida, Kalisto, Daniel Bryan, the Lucha House Party, not counting Kalisto. Kalisto is drafted separate because he does not want them together. Gulak and Jeff Hardy.
Wait, pause.
Yes.
So Kalisto's not part of the Lucha House Party. Why?
Because right now he's not part of the Lucha House Party.
Yeah, they split.
When did that happen?
During the draft. He got drafted to a different brand.
I must have missed that shit. It must have been one of them like off the TV things.
Yes.
Okay.
And now for arguably the best draft.
Clearly he has the Fiend.
Raw is Ritter has Bray Wyatt, Aleister Black, the Viking Raiders, the entirety of the Hurt Business, Karrion Kross and Scarlett, Dexter Lumis, Big E, Heavy Machinery, Cameron Grimes, Elias, Bronson Reed, Apollo Crews, the entirety of Retribution, Killian Dane, Jinder Mahal, and Bo Dallas.
You just took them to the woodshed, bro. Like,
oh wait! Damn. I haven't finished because I'm sorry. On NXT, the women that Vince drafted were Toni Storm, Dakota Kai, and Reina Gonzalez, Charlotte, Shayna and Nia, Sonya Deville, Peyton Royce, Billie Kay, and Sasha Banks. Okay. So that's the NXT women's division.
That's a solid women's division, though.
Yeah, the Raw women's division is Alexa Bliss, Shotzi Blackheart, Ember Moon, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Naomi, the Riot Squad, Zelina Vega, and Nikki Cross.
That's also solid. I think he got you beat, though. On the women's roster, I think he might have you beat. It's close. It's close, but I think he has you beat.
They're strong.
However, your men's division shits on everybody else's.
I agree.
And you know something? Real quick, I mentioned this on the show this week. I need to understand how Retribution is draftable when they don't operate within the confines of WWE's rules and regulations.
They have contracts.
Here's the thing. I will agree with your statement that if Retribution had gone undrafted, they should be allowed to go between brands undrafted. I would be okay with that. But when they got contracts, they had contracts exclusive to Raw. When Retribution started, they were showing up on SmackDown. Yeah. They had confrontations with Big E. They were going between the two main shows. I was arguing that they should have gone to NXT. They didn't, and now we know why, because they're all from NXT, basically.
Yeah.
So I would agree with that. But because they were already exclusive to Monday Night Raw, so they already made that faux pas before the draft even came, it makes sense that they get drafted to a brand. And to make, because I love to make logic out of this. Monday Night Raw also drafted the Hurt Business, who they have put their faith in to deal with Retribution. So as USA Network, if they see money in a Hurt Business Retribution feud and they have the people that they have confidence in to handle Retribution, it makes sense from a business standpoint to hire Retribution, putting their faith in the Hurt Business to gain ratings and money.
That's a good point.
Whereas nothing that happened on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown made any goddamn sense this week. So let's get into that.
The real thing is, though, you say all these things happen in this supposed draft, but there's no evidence of supposed draft. So, I don't believe it actually happened. Let's go.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right.
Where are we starting, Reek?
Let's go to Raw.
All right. So I want to issue an apology
You should.
for last week because I've had some time to think about it. Being that on SmackDown, technically everyone was a free agent at that point. Brand to brand interactions were not an issue because no one was drafted on SmackDown. Now on Monday Night Raw, there were people that were drafted and SmackDown exclusive that had no business being on motherfucking Monday Night Raw, especially in a number one contender women's battle royal for the Raw Women's Championship. But we'll get into that.
They said it was cross-branded, though. They did say that.
Yeah, but why? You could have said
because you got to wrap some stuff up, Matt. That's
literally the only person in there that was drafted to SmackDown prior to was Bianca Belair. And don't get me wrong, I love Bianca Belair, but you could have left Bianca Belair out and called it a free agent battle royal because that's basically what it was.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't have got that awesome moment of her eliminating Shayna Baszler.
Anyway, we kick it off with Randy telling us that he's going to win at Hell in a Cell regardless of where he's drafted. Drew comes out, says he made a promise that every time they're in the same building, he's going to beat Randy up. So then they go at it, and Drew delivers on his promise, and they basically brawl throughout the rest of the night up to the main event and after.
Really? I only saw him once after that.
Well, I think they showed him one more time backstage brawling, like right before the main event.
Yeah.
And then it spilled out. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure they didn't show him multiple times throughout the night.
No.
Okay.
In our draft, we had The Fiend move to Raw and the Street Profits move to SmackDown. We had Braun Strowman, Jeff Hardy, and Matt Riddle move to Raw and Kevin Owens to SmackDown. We had Lars Sullivan move to SmackDown, so there was really no fucking reason for him to be here tonight. And Alexa Bliss to Raw. We had Elias Lacey Evans.
He was there because he didn't know where he was getting drafted.
We had Elias, Lacey, and Sheamus to Raw. We had Nikki Cross to Raw, Bobby Roode, Dolph Ziggler, and Apollo Crews to SmackDown, and Carmella and Aleister Black to SmackDown. We only cover the moves. We're not going to cover the people that got drafted to their own fucking brand that they were already on because they didn't go anywhere. So those are the people that moved brands.
They went from their brand to free agency and then back to the brand they were on.
Did you get to see the no DQ match between Kevin Owens and Aleister Black, Travis?
Let's check my notes here. Nope, I got no KO.
Did you see the Ms. TV, Mandy and Dana?
I did see Ms. TV. Question though.
Oh,
well, not really a question. More so of a concern about this whole draft thing. So, who's drafting? Like
Fox executives and USA executives. They just cut out the cheesy ass draft room that they had last year.
I thought so, and I just want to point out that's lame.
It is.
Like
they should have had GMs.
It's just like if only you had certain people who could represent these brands as some sort of an authority figure. Maybe like a manager of sorts. Just someone who generally manages each brand. I don't know what you would really call that person, but that person,
a commissioner.
Maybe this person might commish.
I honestly, I would settle for what they used to do years ago, which was, you have a card full of matches, brand to brand. Whoever wins their match, gets a pick, and then they put it up on the screen and everything like that. That was solid.
Which would give credence to cross-brand interpromotional matches.
There you go.
I would have logic and reason and nothing to bitch about. But no, they don't want to make it make sense. That's all I want. I tweeted at WWE today, make it make sense. At WWE. Make it make sense.
Oh boy.
Anyway.
Miss TV.
So on Miz TV, we got Mandy and Dana out there. Miz is basically telling Mandy, listen, You can be mad that I took you away from your boyfriend, but ever since I did what I did, you've been winning on Monday Night Raw.
I mean, she was winning on SmackDown too, though. So.
Yeah, but she had that whole thing with Sonya, and
she won.
She wasn't really going anywhere. Here, she's got a tag team partner. She's moving up in the women's division.
She hasn't gone anywhere. She's still not doing anything. She's just tagging with Dana.
She's Dana Brooke is the one getting the rub here. It's not
like nothing has happened for Mandy. Only one who's come up in this situation is Dana.
Yep.
So then Natalya and Lana come out and the 4 women brawl because Natalya and Lana are not happy that there are other blondes on the show, which, by the way, Monday Night Raw has damn near all of the blondes. Other than Carmella and Liv Morgan, all of the blondes on the main roster are on Monday Night Raw.
Liv Morgan's on SmackDown?
All of them.
Yep.
Liv Morgan's on SmackDown with Ruby Riott.
I think I did see that. The Riot Squad is on SmackDown. Okay.
After the commercial, we come back, and The Miz says he has a very special guest to replace his missing guest, and it's John Morrison. And then they talk, and then Lars Sullivan comes out and beats up John Morrison.
I said this to myself, and I think I have it in my notes. Yeah, I have it in my notes for SmackDown, not for Raw. I don't understand Lars Sullivan's appeal.
I don't either, but I do have a way to make him more appealing. I can't fix the racist, misogynistic, homophobic things he said in the chat room.
I know where he's going with this.
We don't. No, you don't. I guarantee. If you know where I'm going with this, I'm going to be fully surprised. I don't think the fact that he did a gay porn was an issue, despite the fact that he said homophobic things afterwards. So that's where the issue is. But here's how we fix Lars Sullivan. What is the one thing that they have pounded into our heads about Lars Sullivan since he returned?
He's a freak.
He's a freak.
So what we do is we give him P.D. Pablo's Freak-a-Leak as his entrance music. And have him come out to Freak-a-Leak. And if you do that, and you dress him up like Freakazoid.
Wait, with the red unitard and with
Yes.
the lightning bolt and the hair? Can you give him the hair too? Can he have the hair?
We
It
can
only
have
works
the
if he
hair.
has the hair.
So Lars Sullivan dressed as
Can we
Freakazoid.
paint him blue?
Yes, coming out to Freak-a-Leak can fix this entire thing.
Oh man.
I mean,
Every now and then you give me a gem, It's every now and then.
Freakazoid.
You know how a lot of times, he just when somebody swings at everything, they don't always hit. But every now and then they give you a big one. And here it is. Here it is.
This is sports entertainment, and I will say,
yes,
without a doubt, I would be entertained by that. So,
And then imagine Freakazoid with the Freak-a-Leak entrance chasing our truth around trying to become 24/7 champion.
yo,
I'm with it.
Oh man, cut the check, Vince.
Did you get to see Seth's farewell to Monday Night Raw? So Seth is giving a farewell to Monday Night Raw, which I'm okay with, because technically he was still on Raw. He had not been drafted to SmackDown. Or no, he did. I'm sorry. He got drafted. So no, I'm not okay with this. We didn't need a farewell. Go to SmackDown. Go to SmackDown. You shouldn't be here. He's interrupted by Jeff Hardy because Seth's like, when I leave, who's going to be the face? Jeff says he's going to be the face. And since TC's not here, I'm just going to be the disrespectful person I always am. Oh, by the way, let me run down real quick the people that did not get drafted, because we stopped at 25. We had the option to keep going. We decided not to. So the people that did not get drafted in our draft: Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, Riddick Moss, Titus O'Neil, Mojo Rawley. Yes.
Who's Riddick Moss?
Don't worry about it, Travis. Tozawa, Velveteen Dream, Austin Theory, Lars Sullivan, Matt Riddle, and Drake Maverick for the men.
Most of them don't deserve to be drafted.
For the women, Xia Li, and that I was on the fence. She was almost my last pick, but I took Jinder Mahal. And then Lacey Evans, Dana Brooke, Tamina, Natalya, Chelsea Green, and Aaliyah.
Yeah.
That's what they didn't get drafted.
That's fair.
And Jeff Hardy was the very last draft pick for NXT. He's literally I made a list. He is literally second to last above Drake Maverick on my list of who's going to Monday Night Raw. He was not coming. And if he was, I would have fired his ass. I would have drafted him and fired him, and I thought about it.
That is
Anyway,
just-
You know,
Damn.
that's a level of pettiness I can respect, though. Like,
well,
you draft
and here's
him just so
why.
you can fire him. Yeah, I
Yeah.
get it.
And here's why. Because the man comes out, and as I've said, falling off shit gracefully, he's great at it.
Falling with style.
Confront Jeff Hardy and Seth Rollins.
Lost
And
you.
then-
go back, rewind. Lost you for a
Yeah.
second.
I said when AJ Styles comes out to get involved with Seth and Jeff Hardy challenges them to a triple threat tag team match.
Yeah.
And then I was like, is this like when the tag team titles were on the line in a triple threat match where at WrestleMania? No, because there's only 3 of you and you need 6 people for a triple threat tag team match, Jeff.
I said that too. I'm like, so
I
who
didn't
were the
even notice
partners
that.
going to be?
They must have changed that and fixed that in post on Hulu or something, because I definitely didn't hear that. Or maybe I just wasn't paying attention. That's also entirely possible.
I'm quite sure they edited before Hulu, because my first question was, if it's a tag match, who the hell the partner's going to be?
Yeah,
Because nobody's fucking with Seth right now,
I watched
and
that on.
AJ has no friends on a brand that he just got to. So
It's become a thing that I watch. You know, whatever, like maybe it'd be SmackDown or not SmackDown, NXT or Raw or AEW if I have no other thing to watch during my lunch break. So, yeah. There's a good chance that I was distracted by something else and didn't see that part. So he may have said that on the Hulu version. I don't know.
I will say, arguably, best moment of the night. Huge babyface turn for Elias. Shows up, cracks Jeff Hardy over the head with a guitar, gives AJ Styles the win. Elias may be one of my new favorite superstars on Raw.
Oh, Matthew.
I mean, he
But
saved the show.
look, clearly Elias doesn't watch TV, because if you're telling me that this man, what was it, like 3 months ago that he got hit by the car and he didn't see how that went down and what happened, like this dude must be living under a rock.
Like, you still don't know it wasn't Jeff that did it. Like,
Well, to be fair, it was Michael Cole or whoever was on announce that made that correlation as to why Elias attacked Jeff. Elias just might not like Jeff.
he didn't say that during when they were talking to him when he was in backstage?
No. Do you guys hear that, or is it just me?
Yeah.
You hear it too?
Yeah.
I think your mic was making some funny noises, Travis.
Still?
No, it's gone now.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, AJ gets the win here, pinning Jeff Hardy. Did you see Mandy and Dana versus Natalya and Lana?
I did.
So Mandy and Dana get the win, and then Natalya decides that she's done with Lana.
Like everybody else.
Which, even though I'm spitting Raw and SmackDown, full heads up, spitting both shows, neither show gets my vote for the week because of cross-brand
Because he's
bullshit.
petty.
I'm not
Because he's fucking
going.
petty.
No, I'm not. I don't care. I'm not going to give them any kind of credence for this bullshit, this lackadaisical.
But the shit
Lazy
yeah,
booking.
with Roman and Uso.
Don't
like,
care. Don't
bruh,
care. Don't care. It was great.
What?
Don't care.
Like, you didn't
Oh,
see that shit?
That was like,
Anyway, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
But go ahead. God,
So
this guy
anyway-
could held
You cut out there, Travis. Your mic's acting a little funny.
yeah.
I don't know why. It's
Well, you just got real loud too.
You messing with the auto tune again?
actually no. I only did that
Why'd
like
you remind him of that?
I haven't
I
forgotten.
forgot he had it.
No, I didn't. I was planning on using it again. I was waiting. You can't do it all the time. It's not funny if you do it all the time. You got to wait until like I think that you think that I forgot, and then all of a sudden just pop it on you again, and you just yeah.
Anyway, this was beautiful.
And that time I
storytelling.
was gonna do it the entire show.
Natty dumping Lana was a great setup for what happened later on in the show in our main event. Travis, did you see Ricochet?
Pew! No,
Did you see Garza?
I did.
So Angel Garza and Andrade, along with every other tag team in WWE, has now imploded, gone, done, no longer exists. They had one more match where Garza defeats Andrade. Zelina is on commentary. They said something along the lines of, even though she said she's not going to manage them anymore, she has a duty as their manager to be out here for this last whatever. It was a weird.
Well, she says she still has a contractual obligation through the end of the season. So now the season's over. So now she's done after that last match.
After Garza gets the win,
I don't know if she actually said that or not, but that's the only way it made sense in my head. So that's what I'm going with.
If you can make it make sense, I'm good, Travis. So I want make it make sense.
Well, that's what I just did. You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Zelina checks on Andrade, even though she says she's done with him. And then the lights go out. The screens go dark. That beautiful, beautiful noise hits. The red lights come on. Alexa is in the corner doing her best Bray Wyatt imitation. Bray is behind Andrade, and we get the stereo Sister Abigails.
She still does it better.
She does. And this is up there with Elias smashing guitar over Jeff Hardy as the best part of the show. I'm
Yet you still are spitting the show because you're petty.
correct. 100%. Did you see Rudolph versus the New Day?
I did. Can we talk about what led up to this, though?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because while I understand the exchange of the titles, I wanted so bad to get a unification match. Like, I want the New Day versus the Street Profits so bad. Like, if I don't get this match in Survivor Series, neither one of these motherfuckers better lose that title before Survivor Series. I want the New Day versus the Street Profits at fucking Survivor Series. Damn the NXT tag titles. Fuck them. I don't care.
Now,
The promos alone.
Did you listen to the latest episode of the Young Kings Wrestling podcast?
No, I'm boycotting.
Okay.
But
I believe Mr. Wreak Havoc.
Here's the thing. You get a download from me, but I'm not listening. So you still get the numbers, but I will not give TC the satisfaction of listening to his shit. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, support is appreciated, so.
Yeah. I want
sure all he
I
cares
still
about-
want you to eat, just not at my table. But go ahead.
Was it you or TC that brought up the way to kind of fix the New Day issue and make this interesting?
What New Day issue?
I think I did.
Okay, so
Because I got that from you.
Well, what I heard was the idea of putting Keith Lee in Big E's spot in the New Day.
Yeah, that was TC.
And then did he also mention putting Big E with the Street Profits?
I don't think so.
I think there was, because I thought he mentioned something about them eventually feuding, where Big E has to feud with the New Day. He's got the Street Profits on his side, and then the New Day now has their replacement in Big E with Keith Lee.
No. Now, what I was saying before, because it makes so much sense to get this New Day versus Street Profits match, because it's like the Street Profits are the successors to the New Day. Like, they are the next step. It's like, when the New Day was first introduced, they were introduced to this weird, stupid ass black preacher gimmick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I didn't see the Street Profits when they first came out, when they first debuted in NXT, but judging off of their name, I assume they were given a similar gimmick.
No. They have been doing what they are doing now, mostly. So it was more of a street gimmick with gold chains and hype on the solo cups. It was a little more
a different black stereotype. Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Still makes sense. When they were given this dumbass black stereotype to do, and they made it their own and made it something good. New Day did it. They did it. They come together. They give us this awesome match, because I guarantee you a Street Profits versus New Day match would be fucking amazing.
Hell yeah. The promos alone would kill.
Exactly. The promos leading up to it. Oh my God.
So am I to understand that you and TC actually like the Usos versus New Day rap battle?
Us?
What?
Yeah.
The punchlines, not the whole thing. The punchlines, I like a lot of them.
I couldn't do it. It was not for me.
It was trash.
How
old are you, Reek?
And I was like,
28.
You should know better.
Well, I said I'm listening to fan of the whole thing.
Every now and then, man, we are right here. We are right here. This is what happens when you got 20 years of friendship, dude. Like, it's just, we in the same place. Like, yeah, you should know better. You really should.
Oh man, listen. Honestly, if Wale wasn't out there, like, as a part of it, I might not have been as invested.
Listen, Wale was out there. Mega Ran was out there. I love Mega Ran.
Yeah.
Like, that is my boy.
Yeah.
Like, the Wiley is my shit.
They were not dropping bars though. I mean,
They were not.
Don't get me wrong. The best line they had was the Xavier Woods R-rated thing, and it should have been X-rated. It wasn't R-rated. It was X-rated.
Yeah, it was highly X-rated.
Yes. So anyway, we get this nice exchange between the New Day and the Street Profits for the titles. You've got Dawkins talking about the Clippers, making a couple comments, saying take care of his baby. Rudolph wants a match. Rudolph gets a match for the Raw Tag Team titles, but against the new Raw Tag Team champions, and they lose to the New Day.
Of course they do.
To SmackDown, where we saw them tonight.
So Rudolph is on SmackDown now.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we had a women's battle royal. As I said,
Matt's favorite match of the night.
Boycotting this because the one woman that was actually drafted to SmackDown,
it had an amazing moment.
Prior to, she didn't. What good did it do her? She's not in a tag team, so she ain't feuding with Shayna and Nia.
So
she wasn't on SmackDown. She wasn't on SmackDown competing in a singles match this week to build on that momentum.
None of the women were.
You didn't know that on you didn't know that on Monday though. You were already mad on Monday. You didn't know if she was gonna get to do that or not.
Business. Travis, I don't care if it was fucking Shotzi Blackheart. If she was drafted to SmackDown, she had no business being in this fucking match. You do not have SmackDown contracted talent compete for a shot at a Raw Women's Championship.
Okay, but Shotzi's on NXT. Would you be upset if she was in this Battle Royal?
Yes.
What if she won?
I'd still be upset. Why is she challenging for the Raw Women's title?
I don't believe
if she is a SmackDown contracted talent. If she got called up and she was on Raw, different story.
Well, I mean, if he wins and gets, becomes, champ, then automatically she's called up then. But
yeah, but based on the rules that were set tonight with Braun Strowman winning the Universal title and taking it back to Raw, Bianca Belair would have taken the Raw Women's title to SmackDown. She would not have become part of the Raw roster. So again, not okay with it.
Well, I mean, listen.
But we all know that would never happen, though. So you're just
Sasha was on SmackDown.
You're getting yourself all worked up over.
Yeah, I know Sasha was on SmackDown and won. Yeah, and they used the fucking bullshit that she was a tag champion.
You are not helping the situation right now, Freak. Like you
at all.
Leave that alone. Don't do it. Do not bring that one up. We argued about that on this show several times. Don't do it.
Man.
Actually, you know what? No, we didn't argue on it. Matt tried to argue about it. I didn't care. But it was just,
SmackDown contract
this upsets him so much, Reek. Like
who is a tag team champion,
so hot.
She can defend the titles on other shows, somehow gets a shot and wins the Raw Women's Championship. Get the fuck out of here. That does not make sense.
Two Bells Banks.
It was playing up. Listen, they were the hottest thing on TV, which I'm gonna get into later. But it was the hottest thing on.
Is
TV.
that what your rant's about? Is that why you want to come on tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They are. They were the hottest thing on TV. Why wouldn't you want them on both shows?
So let's finish Monday Night Raw. During the match, after getting eliminated, an angry Nia Jax for the 4th out of 5 weeks or 5th out of 6 weeks.
We've been talking about Raw for almost an hour. Go ahead.
Yeah. Puts Lana through a table, taking her out of the match. I thought she was eliminated. At the very end.
So how did she end up on the outside in the first place?
I think she rolled out underneath the rope.
So she rolled out to face up with Nia Jax on her own?
No, she rolled out to get a breather. Nia picked her up. Samoan dropped her through the table.
Okay. Because it's just like, how do you come face to face with Nia Jax on purpose? Like, okay, never mind then.
No.
I'm like, why would Lana of all people go up against Nia
Why
Jax?
is Lana of all people #1 contender for the Raw Women's title?
Because she won the Battle Royal. She's a Raw superstar, Matt.
I agree. It is better. It is better than Bianca.
They heard that.
Wait, I need everybody to realize what Matt just said. He just said it is better that Lana won this battle royal for the #1 contendership than Bianca Belair. I just want to make sure everybody knows. I just want everybody to know that Matt said it is better that Lana won this #1 contendership than it would be had Bianca Belair won it. You racist fuck. Go ahead.
Lana wins. A Raw contracted superstar won a title shot for the Raw title, which is the right thing to do. We could have had Naomi win. She's on Raw.
No, she's got to join the Hurt Business later on. They ain't got time for that.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And then before Lana really even gets to celebrate her win out of nowhere that everyone's shocked by, Drew and Randy kind of brawl out of the crowd and into the arena, and yeah, that's Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
So I'm spitting. Travis, where you at? Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Not good enough for Hulu Monday Night Raw edition. Real quick. Actually, there wasn't a whole lot. Kevin Owens defeats Aleister Black in a no DQ match without really a character change after coming in contact with The Fiend, sending Aleister Black to SmackDown with zero momentum because of those two people. That's the guy that needed the win. And then Ricochet is backstage. He confronts the Hurt Business, says he wants one more match, and if he wins, they're done. No more Ricochet Hurt Business, none of it. If he loses,
tell them motherfuckers to stay out their locker room there.
He'll join the Hurt Business. Well, mind you, the motherfucker that went in their locker room turned out to be the guy that was leading Retribution.
Yeah, but they were on his side, though, so it don't matter.
Well, they didn't know any better.
Yeah, then, exactly. Do better.
Cedric stood up and said, I got this. Cedric loses via DQ. Ricochet gets the win, does not join the Hurt Business, and they are done.
Via DQ?
Yes.
Yeah.
How did he get disqualified?
Eddie Guerrero style.
And it was beautiful, Travis.
It was.
Wait, with the chair thing?
Yes.
And
you missed it.
He fell out like the Fresh Prince
fainted.
So they did the Eddie shit and they took that off Hulu?
And it was beautiful. Like, so. Twitter loved it, Travis. I loved it. It was great. He did a really good job. Like, that's the one, other than that really cool flip he did in NXT over the top rope where he landed on his feet, this is probably the coolest thing Ricochet's done in WWE. And I need more of this. Do this.
Yeah.
Do this, Ricochet.
I don't know how I feel about him, like, copying Eddie, though. But
if you go see it, you might change your mind.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand you both, like, you say you loved it, and you say Twitter loved it, but I don't listen to what Twitter has to say because Twitter's full of idiots. But, yeah. I mean, I'll watch it for myself. I'm sure it's on YouTube, but because you got mad at me last week for seeing stuff on YouTube, so I didn't do it this week. Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll see, but I'm suspicious.
Okay. Reek, Monday Night Raw, spit a swallow.
You didn't even let me finish. I'm spitting.
Okay. You're spitting Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, it didn't do it for me.
Okay.
Not for the same reasons as you, but it just didn't do it for me.
I was close to that. I'm just gonna gargle because the Fiend and Alexa, it always does it, but that finish.
That's all they
Lana,
had.
Yeah,
that's all they had.
That's you end the show on a real sour note like that.
Yeah.
When you only got one thing, it better be Roman Reigns and the Uso. Which one is he?
Which one?
Exactly.
NXT, AEW, or SmackDown? Because you didn't watch AEW, did you?
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, because it's trash. Why would you do that?
Go on and get that out the way.
All right. So this is the 1-year anniversary episode.
Trash.
Of AEW. We kick it off.
Trash.
It was basically all tag team all title matches tonight. We had FTR.
And all of them were trash.
The Best Friends. During the match, they break the arcade cabinet that Kip Sabian and Miro were playing in the crowd the last 2 weeks.
Which was NBA Jam, but they can't show it because they don't have the rights. I recognize that arcade cabinet, though.
Post-match, Kip and Miro are upset and beat down the Best Friends. And then they have a match where they crush Sean Maluta, who is part of the tribe that Roman is the chief of. I believe he's competed on NXT.
Yeah.
Or on Raw, one of the two. And Lee. They did. It's a enhancement team that they beat. And then Miro gets on the mic and threatens the best friends for destroying the arcade cabinet. Not happy about that.
I will say this, and I mentioned it on the show. It just agitated me that you were trying to build the best friends up. Then they get this title shot, they lose, and then get squashed simultaneously by one dude in Rusev. Like, that's just fucking stupid, if you ask me.
Well, I mean, they did just compete an entire match against FTR in a title match. It's not like they got beat fresh.
Yeah, but still, your number one contenders got beat down by one dude.
And this is a man who fucked Lana on a tank at WrestleMania. So, like,
I mean, I understand.
If I'm gonna get my ass beat by somebody, at least I can say, dude, that beat my ass, fucked the chick on the tank at WrestleMania. Like,
yeah. Well, it's like I understand it because it's like you're making him look strong. He's new. Like, I get it. I
really want to believe that. I really want to believe that story is true, and that's not just something they made up. Like, I really want to believe that Lana and Rusev actually had sex on the tank at WrestleMania.
Only they know.
Yeah. Then we got Lance Archer attacking Jon Moxley backstage before their main event title match, where they're basically just brawling throughout the night. Then we get probably Travis's favorite part of the show. MJF calls out Jericho. He's got his big announcement. The whole Inner Circle comes out. None of the Inner Circle fuck with MJF except for Jericho. None of them. They got Sammy a jacket. Sammy's jacket is 3 times too big. Jericho makes him put it on and wear it anyway, even though he doesn't want to. So Jericho is causing issues in his own group by siding with MJF. They kind of go back and forth. MJF mentions he wants to join the Inner Circle. Finally, he gets it out. Proud and Powerful, like, listen, man, we don't fuck with you. We don't want you in the group. Not happening. Jericho's like, wait. Next week, steak dinner. You and me. You weren't amused by this at all, Travis?
No, it's too late.
Too late for what?
Too late for this whole MJF Inner Circle shit. I was over it months ago.
You didn't enjoy it?
Nope.
Did you enjoy Britt Baker and Tony in the spa?
There was one moment when she realized he was naked that was kind of funny, and then that was it for me.
Really?
Yeah.
I enjoyed the whole fucking segment, man, including Rebel and Britt waxing Tony's chest. That was funny as shit. When Britt Baker took her mask off, looked over, saw Tony was naked, and freaked out for a second. That was funny.
That was the amusing part to me. The rest of it was just like, eh.
Britt made the
mistake.
It was funny
15 years ago on the 40-year-old virgin. But anyway, go ahead.
Britt made the mistake of showing her feet so all the people with foot fetishes on Twitter, Yeah. Britt's a great character. I will give her that. This character that she's developed, this heel character, is entertaining as shit. I enjoy the shit out of it. I need her to get her in-ring work up to her character work, and then she'll be great. Cody versus Orange Cassidy, TNT title goes to a time limit draw. I don't know why I said draw. Cody's back blonde for some reason. I know you quoted me, Reek, with the identity crisis, schizophrenia.
Yeah. I need answers to that. Like, I'm thinking you coming back, the hair is black, you doing not a shift in your character, but a little, adding
shift.
Something to it.
There's a bit of a shift to him. I know.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking too. Then he came back blonde. I'm like, oh, yep. I no longer care. Same old Cody. Okay.
Somebody did make a good point that blood just doesn't look as good in black hair as it does the blonde.
Well, that's because of, Ric Flair and Dusty and everybody that just bleed like fucking water. So
I like the fact that they went to a time limit draw because we're going to get a rematch in 2 weeks if Cody's still champion. They made OC look strong here. Cody couldn't get the job done. He couldn't beat Orange Cassidy. Then we got a ringside interview with the Hardys. The family's there. Matt's cleared to wrestle. And then up on the screen, there's a guy burning a bunch of pictures of Matt Hardy. And, of course, it's Sammy Guevara. Sammy says it's not done. He wants to end Hardy's career. He almost did it, but he didn't get the job done. He wants to get it done and end Matt Hardy's career. And, of course, Matt Hardy accepts. So that's going to continue. And then the one thing that really fucking pissed me off about this show. They've got a bingo wheel in the ring with balls with the names of the fucking contenders in the tag team division. And you have a ranking system. When the best friends lose to FTR, they go to the bottom of the ranking system. And then the next team with the most wins is now the next number one contender for that title. And whoever has the most wins by the time the belt is to be defended would be the number one contender. So there's a way to do this where you're not picking 4 random teams out of a fucking spinning, rotating bingo wheel. We get the Bucks, of course, because we've been waiting for Bucks versus FTR since FTR showed up. Mm-hmm. Private Party, who catches some super kicks from the Bucks. For whatever reason, as Young Kings Wrestling likes to dub them, Botcher and Bland. Yep. And 2 of the least entertaining on Dynamite members of the Dark Order, not even the main team in Dark Order. I guess they're really entertaining on Being the Elite, but I don't watch Being the Elite. And they don't show stuff from Being the Elite.
Nobody else does either.
No, actually, a lot of people do. I just don't.
No, they don't.
Okay. That just, it pissed me off.
That's why it's on YouTube and not on TV.
Do you have a ranking system if you're not going to fucking use it?
I said this already. It's null and void. Like the ranking system was a great concept. Yes,
it really was.
Correct, sir.
And it helps them make fucking stories. It is a great way to build stories and build characters, because now that you have a ranking system, it is very easy to say, okay, this is the person I want to push, and then give him wins to get him to the spot that you want him to be in so that he gets a title shot and make him number one contender.
But they just neglect it. They just neglect it. And they just do what the fuck they want to do. And
I feel like kind of like the Smacked Raw podcast has unintentionally almost abandoned NXT because they cover AEW live. Then very soon here, Travis is going to mandate that we no longer cover AEW, which I'm really surprised, because as big of a fan of WCW as Travis was, I really thought he was going to enjoy this because he likes trash.
No. So here's the thing. You got to understand how I feel about this. Because, yes, I love bad wrestling. Bad wrestling is so much fun to me. This isn't even fun, though. This is just boring. Like, this is like that's my problem. Like, don't bore me. Like, WCW had some really bad things that happened, but the bad shit was entertaining. It was like, it was so bad that it was funny, and I enjoyed it. This is one of those things that, like, they're bad, and they act like they're better than everybody else. It's just
didn't that whole Taskmaster thing happen on WCW?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was awful, and that was funny. But that was funny.
The glitter stormtrooper helmet.
Yes. When he came tumbling through the wall was the funniest shit.
That was hilarious.
All right, well,
if you're gonna go there, then go there. Of course, WCW didn't do that on purpose, but guess what? That was the beauty of what WCW was. They were so bad and didn't realize how bad they were, but they kept digging that hole, and it was so entertaining. And then came the NWO, and it was just like, oh my God, now you have something good. You're gonna blow it, but you got something good.
We had Hikaru Shida defeat Big Swole for the AEW Women's Championship. This is a match that I did not connect with me, and I've heard basically universally from a lot of people, it just something was off about this match. These two did not have chemistry.
Not at all.
Then we had a Shawn Spears Scorpio Sky bid package, and then we finish off no DQ. Mox defeats Lance Archer. They gave him new music. They gave him a new helmet, and Mox is still your champion. Though I will say probably the best part of the show came after the match. Archer is attacking Mox. You have Eddie Kingston and the Lucha Bros on commentary. Eddie says, go help him, boys. And I thought he was sending him to help Archer beat down Moxley, but the Lucha Bros try and run off Archer, who ends up leaving. And then Kingston, who is probably the best they have on the microphone other than Cody, cuts this fantastic promo about him and Cody, or him and Mox coming up together and all of this stuff. And then, of course, turns on Moxley at the end, and then they jump and beat down Moxley. Eddie Kingston, to me, is one of the best parts of AEW.
I'm hearing a lot about Eddie Kingston, so I guess I'll have to look a little more into the guy.
He's not much to look at, but he's a fantastic fucking promo.
He's great on the
Yeah,
mic, but
I
that's
heard
about all he's got that I enjoy. Yeah, he's like him, Luchasaurus, and Orange Cassidy for me. More so Orange Cassidy and Luchasaurus are like the icing on a shit cake. So it's just
Hangman Adam Page.
he's okay. He's like you took the shit cake, but you mixed chocolate into it. Like he's the chocolate that you mix into the shit cake, and then like
He'd be a top star in NXT if he had just gone to NXT. He'd
would.
be running that show.
Probably.
because they need somebody because they're boring me too.
My thing was, that this trend of these guys that you come in, you built them up so big, and it's like they just take one loss after another. For Lance Archer, I'm just like,
It's one of those things that it's almost like the people who love AEW should trash WWE for doing the same thing. Are surprisingly silent about AEW doing that shit, and it's just like, where y'all at? Because they doing the same shit. It's almost like this whole process is more complicated than you think it is.
No, they're not silent. They actually defend everything AEW does. They defend their women's division.
Even worse.
They defend it.
What women's division?
Exactly. They defend it. And
You
there is no
know
fucking women's division.
that one woman that came in and had a good match that wasn't an AEW superstar.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. They have Abaddon. Why is Abaddon not on TV? Why is that not right now Hikaru Shida's next opponent? Why are you not building this weird, creepy, awesome character up to be something viable that Hikaru Shida has to worry about and be afraid of and build towards something there? Why are you wasting Abaddon right now? Instead, you've got Nyla Rose sitting in the crowd looking angry but doing nothing, and you're feeding Shida all of this talent that she's running through, and she's not going to have anyone else to fight.
Exactly. That's what I said about peaks and valleys. It's like she'll have a great match and then just a bunch of shit that nobody cares about, and then another great match and you just go back down. It's ridiculous.
Her great matches aren't with AEW superstars though. Like
So,
it's when they bring in somebody from NWA.
I liked Mox and Jericho. I love the Britt Baker segment. I enjoyed my issue with Mox, as I said on, I think, Twitter, is the paradigm shift. The double arm DDT doesn't do it for me. Him doing the double arm DDT has never done it for me. I didn't like it when it was the Dirty Deeds. I don't like it now. That is why Mox doesn't connect with me.
You got to do that front DDT, man.
Exactly. The front face lock DDT is what I want to see him do again. But anyway, I actually enjoyed that match. I enjoyed the promo at the end. And the tag team match was good in the beginning. So I'm swallowing AEW. I know, Reek, you didn't watch. I know you've heard a rundown of the show twice, and Travis shit all over it.
Yeah.
You watched Titans?
The first time I didn't hear it. It just spit.
You watched Titans?
I haven't yet. It's on my to-do list.
What about you, man? You watched Titans yet?
No.
You both suck.
I have to get the DC app to do that, and I'm not buying another fucking app. You want to send me your password? I'll watch it.
I
heard it's dope though.
Yeah, I'll use somebody else's. I can't give you somebody else's.
See,
shit.
when they release it on HBO Max, like they did Doom Patrol, then I'll watch it.
I had the DC app at first, and then money troubles. But
are you spitting or swallowing AEW so we can move on?
I'm spitting that shit, you know that.
Okay.
But I just saw some news about Titans season 3. That's why I was asking if you watched Titans.
If only we had a DC podcast where we could talk about Titans news.
Yeah, we'll wait till the shows come back in January. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We do. We have Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow, which you guys can find at facebook.com/group/Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow and all of the places where you find this podcast in audio and video form if you are a fan of the CWDC universe and DC superhero shows in general. Go check it out.
Check it out. Right. Speaking of which, remind me after this is over, I got to post something in that group because I forgot.
NXT or SmackDown?
NXT.
Look. Don't roll your eyes at me again, motherfucker. All right?
Listen, I told my wife I was going to make this quick. I'm trying to make this quick.
Oh, my bad. Baby involved. I apologize. I take that back. Fuck you, but I take that back.
All right, so we kicked this off with Undisputed Era versus Birch and Lorcan. Here's the thing. Birch and Lorcan aren't a charismatic team, but NXT is a place where the workhorses get over, so I'd love to see these guys actually get something, at least one title run for their hard work in NXT because they put everyone over. They make everyone look fantastic.
Say it all the time.
I never heard you say that.
Yeah, I said like, yo, if there's ever a tag team,
Well, that's
that
just
I want
because I
see
don't
win
listen
the
to your
titles-
podcast out of protest, but you know.
Yeah, that's kind of cold.
It
But
is.
I say it all the time, like I would love to see Lorcan and Burt. They are my favorite tag team in NXT, sans Undisputed Era and shit like that. But I saw them. First time I saw them was when I went to a live SmackDown. I saw them on 205 Live, and I'm like, yo, that is shit. So I'm rocking with them.
Hold on a second.
I'll hold on for 2 seconds.
Okay, so we get that match. Kyle cuts a promo to start the show on how if Ridge Holland hadn't gotten put in the hospital, they would have put him in the hospital anyway, which was weird because he was a babyface and this wasn't a babyface promo, and now he's with the heel group. And I don't really know what they're doing with Undisputed Era, but Adam Cole is not cleared to wrestle. He's not here. Kyle's not here, but he will be next week. This is the second coming of the prophecy of the Undisputed Era where they will be dripped in gold. We'll see how that goes.
Nah.
It's in danger. You are in danger, sir.
Then we got, he is so in danger. It's not even funny because now instead of Ridge Holland being the target, they've alluded to the fact that Ridge Holland was paid by somebody to attack Adam Cole. So now it's finding out who paid Ridge Holland to take out Adam Cole. And me and Reek are on the same page. Adam Cole paid Ridge Holland to take out Adam Cole.
He said it. He was like, listen, you see this car I'm driving right now? You can thank Adam Cole for that. It's right in front of your face.
Mm-hmm. We get an update on Finn. So apparently he had surgery and his title reign is in question. They're going to wait a couple weeks to see how he heals before they make any decisions, which, seeing as what happened to him with the Universal title, I respect it, but also you got 30 days. After 30 days, he's got to drop that title.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and that them pictures look gnarly. So
yeah, real gnarly. Then we get a video package.
Get that mask and put it on like Becky.
Did you see the video package for Ember Moon, Travis?
I did.
Okay, so we got a nice video package for Ember Moon mixed in with some of the promo stuff before she showed up, who she is. She mentions that she took herself out of the draft, which was a nice little touch.
Oh,
so
wait.
She could come to NXT.
No, I was thinking at the beginning when they showed the package of everything, so I did not see this.
Okay. Well, that's not good enough for Hulu. And then to bring us back to the very beginning of the show, Travis, did you see Ashanti the Adonis, which is why I picked Fat Joe featuring Ashanti as our song during the Panda Gifts, because Ashanti the Adonis had his first match as Ashanti the Adonis versus Jake Atlas.
No.
Did you see the Gargano interview?
Yes.
So Gargano's going to teach Theory a lesson. Then he has a match with Austin Theory, and Gargano wins. Good match. I'm a little confused as to why Johnny Gargano is repeatedly losing, yet repeatedly getting title shots.
Because they don't know how to build up credibility in their title scene.
Because it's Johnny
anymore.
Yeah.
Anymore.
Yeah.
They did. And I don't know what happened. I don't know, like, who came in and flipped the switch and said, hey, all that really good shit you were doing, you're going to stop doing that. I don't know when. I don't know why. I don't know how. Because even when they went to USA originally and Travis was watching the show, Travis was like, okay, I finally see why Matt wanted me to keep watching this show. And he was digging it. And then right around pandemic time, all of a sudden, other than Keith Lee, the show took a nosedive. And then they took Keith Lee and sent him somewhere else. And
what was that?
That's the thing. A real big part of what made NXT work was the NXT fans. If you don't have NXT fans in the crowd, that show does not work nearly as well.
And they brought some of them back, but not.
It's not the same. Though you need those same people that come to that show every week, because you know that crowd is the same people every week. It's just the same people who know what they're getting. They know all the superstars. They know all their gimmicks. They know how to, do the callbacks with them and all that shit. Yeah. If you don't have that on NXT, it doesn't work.
Yeah, it's the feel of an indie show.
Yeah, which it was great. I enjoyed the shit out of it. Busted Open always talked about how AEW had a better atmosphere. I preferred the NXT atmosphere. I thought NXT felt way more personal than AEW when they were going head to head. That was just me. Did you see Raquel Gonzalez and Rhea Ripley backstage?
Yeah.
So Raquel calls out Rhea, says, she's tired of Rhea getting in her business. Rhea shows up. She's not having any of the shit talking. They get in each other's faces, and William Regal tells us 2 weeks at Halloween Havoc, we're going to get Rhea versus Raquel.
Yep.
Okay.
And I really want them to do this
Don't give a fuck.
like WrestleMania where Giant Gonzalez faced The Undertaker. Do that again.
No.
Put her in the bodysuit.
No.
It's Halloween Havoc. Put her in the bodysuit. Reek.
No.
It's Halloween Havoc. It's Halloween.
No.
Put her in the bodysuit.
No, man.
Nobody
I cannot
ever wear that shit.
Like, I'm already like kind of dying out on this whole promo with this feud as it is. That's gonna take me out of it completely.
If they come out and they have a really good match in 2 weeks at Halloween Havoc and they beat the dog shit out of each other, I'm in enough to where I will enjoy that match, and I'll put that match over.
Yeah,
I don't think they will. That's the thing. I'm so bored with it all.
Well, Travis, here's the thing I've noticed about you. You love bad wrestling, but if it's not bad wrestling, the actual in-ring stuff does not really interest you. It's all the stuff that leads up to the in-ring that really draws Travis.
I'm a story guy. I am. I'm a story guy. You're right.
Yeah. So if you're not feeling the story, it doesn't matter how great of a match they put on. You're just not feeling the story. You're not going to feel the match. Because of NXT, have been able to appreciate a really hard-hitting, solid match that I was not able to do before.
Well, here's the
They have
thing.
not been delivering that lately.
I can appreciate it. I understand what they did was very skillful and incredible. I just don't enjoy it as much.
Speaking of the hard hitting, you didn't happen to see that match in NXT UK with Walter and
I watched that this morning.
Jesus Christ,
Dude, Dragunov got lit the fuck up.
Oh my God, I felt that shit in my chest when he hit him. Like, oh.
And that drop kick that Walter did to Pete Dunne.
Yeah, man. Jesus.
Talk about the fucking the Smack Raw podcast was talking about Roman Reigns and changing his finisher and said they should do the shotgun drop kick that Finn Balor does and have Roman Reigns do that and get rid of the Superman punch. We'll talk about that later. But that's basically what Walter did to Pete Dunne. And a man Walter size doing that shotgun drop kick, that is like a shotgun to the chest.
God.
Okay. Before you go there, completely random, completely off the subject, has nothing to do with anything we're talking about right now. But I found out yesterday, that at some point between like 2011 and now, I got blocked on Twitter by Jada Fire, and I don't know why. Like,
okay,
I've never tweeted at her. I've never DM'd her. Like, I've had zero interaction with her on Twitter whatsoever. But I found out yesterday, somehow, somewhere in there, I've been blocked. I don't even know why.
I'm laughing because I haven't heard that name in so many years. That brings me back to some old days.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I hadn't even thought about her in forever. And then, like, I forgot what made me look at it. I think it was somebody's Instagram post that mentioned her. And so I'm like, oh, let me see. Go to Twitter and see what she's up to. And I found out what her actual Twitter handle was. And I went to it and I found out that the account had blocked me. I'm like, what the fuck did I do?
I don't know what you did, but I have now solved the us getting kicked off Pornhub issue.
No, that's not possible. She retired from porn back in 2012. So
Doesn't mean she doesn't have influence, Travis.
She doesn't. She doesn't.
She said,
do porn.
She said, fuck Sir Cussalott and fuck his wrestling podcast. Because it wasn't just our podcast. It's another podcast that you were on that I'm not on. So I'm not the one getting us kicked off Pornhub. It's you.
If this episode gets removed, we have a definitive answer.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Did you see Shotzi Blackheart versus Candice LeRae?
Yes.
Shotzi loses to Candice because Indy Hartwell is ringside and slips Candice a pair of brass knucks. Candice then knocks Shotzi out with the brass knucks, getting the win and becoming number one contender again for Io Shirai's women's title. Now both Johnny and Candice are number one contenders, one for the North American Championship, one for the Women's Championship. But going into this, Candice has the little extra help from Indy Hartwell going forward. I I'll talk about it more when we get to the main event. Did you see Drake Maverick and Killian Dane?
No.
I really think you'd enjoy that, Travis. Did you see Tony Storm?
Yes.
Tony defeats Aaliyah. Twitter is not having any kind of Tony Storm thirst right now at all. Somebody fiending for followers tweeted out a picture that the cameraman had a nice picture of Tony Storm's backside, said give that cameraman a raise. He got attacked. I surprisingly somehow snaked through the attacks with my my post of Tony Storm and quoting "She's a brick house."
Mighty.
Hashtag mighty mighty. They were not having any kind of Tony Storm thirst. And then when they were asked why it's okay to sexualize men who are shirtless like Roman Reigns, but not women, there's a difference between sexualizing someone and thirsting. And it was a whole thing on Twitter. Yeah.
Every time SmackDown goes off the air, I literally see at least 2 to 3 people saying, "Oh my God, Roman Reigns wrestling shirtless is everything."
I want to fuck Roman Reigns.
Time. Exactly.
Married man.
Every time. So it's like, yeah, she got cake. I'm gonna look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see Xia Li backstage talking with Regal?
Yes.
Regal said he'll consider it. He did not give her a match. He said, I will take it into consideration. You ain't been winning. I don't know if I want you on my show.
I need them thighs on my screen, so we need to make that happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you said you didn't see any Killian Dane, Drake Maverick stuff. Did you see Damian Priest versus Dexter Lumis?
Yep.
Dexter Lumis should have won this match.
Yep.
Yeah. Priest gets the win here, not with the cross power bomb. And then Grimes is the reason why Lumis lost. And I even tweeted out if that motherfucking Cameron Grimes cost Dexter Lumis this title match, I'm going to flip the fuck out. And here I am flipping out.
And
into existence.
And the move he did. See, this is the problem I have with a lot of these, kabuki finishes they be doing.
Kabuki or Bukaki?
This is some kabuki shit.
Okay.
It's just like, how is that what cost him the match? Like, he took so much worse throughout this whole match than that move.
Because that is Cameron Grimes' finisher, and that is one thing I will give NXT is, for the most part, unless it is a very big match, they do hold finishers to some sort of standard. At least on regular every week shows.
What Cameron Grimes' finisher was, so that explains it. Never
Yes.
mind. I take that back.
Yes, that is Cameron Grimes' finisher.
There. It happens once in a while, It's happened once before. Now this is twice.
The double foot stomp to the chest, so kind of like the standing coup de grace that he does, is Cameron Grimes' finisher.
Oh, see, I didn't know because I don't give a shit about Cameron Grimes. Got it.
Cameron Grimes does catch a crossroads after the match from Damian Priest, and then Priest catches a chair shot from Gargano on the stage. Candice LeRae is out there. William Regal then comes out and says, yes, you are both #1 contenders, and you get title shots. And this is where they broke my heart because this could have been so cool, and the delivery just didn't deliver for me.
So awkward.
Because she paused. If she had just, the way she started talking with her normal voice, if she had just cut a promo without pausing, the way she paused to announce the spin the wheel, make a deal, it would have been fantastic. I don't know why she paused between every word like William Shatner when delivering a promo. Shotzi, I fucking love you.
Yeah, it barely worked for Shatner,
do.
and everybody else can't do that shit.
Yeah.
You're fantastic. You've gotten so much better in ring. Don't do shit like this. Because you killed it with Candice LeRae earlier. Like, you had a great match. Every week you come out, you're putting on a killer show. You're putting all of AEW's women's division to shame. But these promos, you can't do it like that. Like, I get that it's Halloween Havoc and you're the host and it's a horror show and you were kind of, I need more Elvira and less Vincent Price or Svengoolie.
Dig it. It's a fair point.
Don't do that.
Yeah, that's very true.
All right. Not good enough for Hulu, NXT edition. Ashanti Adonis defeats Jake Atlas. Legado del Fantasma causes the distraction and then moves in for the kill. Swerve Scott shows up with a couple of chairs, and then Jake Atlas and Ashanti the Adonis stand side by side with Swerve as Legado del Fantasma decides, hey, you know what? We're not going to do this, and back off. So it looks like Swerve's got some help in this feud with Legado del Fantasma. Then we got Drake Maverick with more ideas for tag team names, my favorite of which I'm taking, I don't care if they go with it, is Furry and Fury, where Killian Dane is the Furry and Drake Maverick is the Fury. Killian Dane did not like this very much. He also says, hey, we got a match with Imperium tonight, and Dane is pissed and said they better win. They do not win. Fury and Furry lose to Imperium. Everrise then shows up, or as Twitter dubbed them, the Discount Young Bucks. They show up, they corner Drake Maverick, and Killian Dane lets us know that nobody hits Drake Maverick but Killian Dane. So that is the dynamic of this tag team, is the giant furry Killian Dane and the tiny Drake Maverick, and nobody can hit you but me. And I am going to hit you, because he has punched him in the face every week except for this week that they have been a team.
Okay.
It works.
It does.
It sounds like it works.
If it gives a little bit of personality to this dude, I will give a damn about it, and it's doing that. So, for me.
Story. This is what I'm talking about. Give me something. Give me a reason to care.
Spit or swallow. NXT.
I guess I'll swallow. Why not?
Travis.
It wasn't bad.
Tui.
You're spitting.
Yes.
I'm swallowing as well. Like I said, we had some really good matches. We really did, especially, Tony Storm had a great showcase, even though it was kind of an enhancement match. It was an enhancement match against someone that's somewhat established in Aaliyah. We had that great women's match. I actually, until Cameron Grimes came and just fucked my day up, really enjoyed it. And it is storytelling. There is that feud there. That's going to continue. Now I really want to see Dexter Lumis kick his ass. So I'm swallowing NXT as well.
Cameron Grimes kind of just grows on you like a tumor.
All right. Monday Night Raw Part 2. We kick it off with Steph and Triple H inciting a brawl at the beginning of the show as they announce all of the people that are on the stage who are either staying on SmackDown or new to SmackDown, ignoring the fact that there are people on the stage who are part of Monday Night Raw. We didn't even talk about the fact that the majority of the matches on tonight's season fucking premiere featured Raw superstars. I will give them one thing. The farewell match for the New Day. I will allow that because there is a reason for that. One part of the New Day is on SmackDown. They did not get a farewell on Raw. So I will concede that the New Day thing was okay. Everything else was not okay. The fact that Sheamus was in So Triple H and Stephanie are doing this, a big brawl in sights. This is all basically so that Lars Sullivan can come out at the end, take some people out, and then get attacked by Jeff Hardy, who is a Raw superstar, who is fighting Lars Sullivan. Listen, there's no fucking point to this match. Jeff Hardy's on Raw. Sullivan just returned. He's on SmackDown. Sullivan beats Jeff Hardy. This doesn't give Lars Sullivan any momentum because he can't. What are you doing with beating a guy that's on a different show? It's not starting a feud. It does nothing for Jeff Hardy because now he's got a loss going back to Raw. Like, this did nothing for anyone.
He's got 2 losses on the week.
Yes.
But even more than that, it's like if Lars is going to come back and do the thing he was doing already, just squashing guys, I'm sure there's a bunch of talent that you can find that isn't doing anything that say, okay, go get your ass kicked. And either that or just don't have this match. Let him beat up somebody backstage and give the women some shine because they didn't get shit tonight.
Agreed. We had one women's segment, no fighting. Yeah. We did have a Bianca video package that was really dope. That was kind of a palate cleanser after that Jeff Hardy, Lars Sullivan bullshit. But no Bianca on the show. Then we have, even though I'm spitting, and I'm still spitting, this beautifully sad promo from the New Day about them coming together It made Travis cry. I think it's going to make Travis cry again. It was super emotional. They said their farewell. Man. I mean, you did go in our group chat on facebook.com/group/Smackin Raw and post a gift that said that you're going to go cry now.
Yeah. But you can't prove that. You didn't see it happen.
Okay. Again, it's the New Day versus Sheamus, Shinsuke, and Cesaro. Sheamus is a Raw superstar. You could have put Baron Corbin in the spot, who is a SmackDown superstar still, and it would have been the same thing. And actually, Baron Corbin has more, I think, of a relationship with the Cesaro Shinsuke team than Sheamus did while Sheamus was on SmackDown.
Yeah, I guess they were trying to, play into that whole thing. They had the feud with him and Big E, but whatever.
Listen, I'm not trying to shit on this because it was emotional and it was the New Day's thing. So I'm very lightly talking about the fact that Sheamus didn't need to be here because he wasn't a superstar, but I'm not going to shit on it for that. Like, I'm letting it slide.
It's so hard to say goodbye.
The New Day is done. A lot of people were thinking we were going to see a turn, that Big E might turn.
No. I'm not going to lie. I was scared shitless.
No.
Because I'm looking at that moment. I'm like, I swear to God, if y'all pulled this shit right now.
No.
You got grown men out here crying.
No.
Oh.
You saw Woods. Because, you saw the tears get to Woods. Because Woods.
Yeah.
He's the emotional one.
It would not have been okay. I would have been ranting from now all the way into next week. It wouldn't have been okay.
We got Sammy backstage taunting
Hold
Otis.
on. I'm not done with the New Day goodbye. Because that final goodbye afterwards when they was hugging and shit. And,
that's when I thought the turn was coming.
You heard him something like, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And then when, Wood's like, yo, I want to thank y'all for, being there for somebody who without y'all wouldn't even be here still. And, it's like, fuck, you right.
And that's the thing. When it got that emotional and Big E was saying those things, I was like, this is the WWE moment where he takes the heads off both of these guys.
No.
Dude, I was so scared.
It is not. Tony does not get what he wants here, all right?
No.
He does not.
Please, no.
Sammy's taunting Otis backstage about how he lost his girlfriend and he lost his tag team partner, and now he's going to lose his money in the bank in this lawsuit. Otis shoves him on his ass. We don't care.
Don't care at all.
You got Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens back. Put those two back together. Or Sami Zayn versus Aleister Black for the IC title and give Aleister a push. Do something. I don't need Sammy and Otis. That is not what I need.
They dropped the ball so bad with Otis, man. It's like you had something that was working with this dude, and I don't know what happened.
They let it sit. Instead of going forward with it, they let it sit. As soon as he wants to play in the bank, you keep going right then. You don't
actually. What happened was the shit with Sonya and the Invader. Yeah, that derailed a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Very
true.
Then we got Daniel Bryan coming out for his first moment in the Thunderdome. You've got his wife on screen behind him watching.
Speaking of that, WWE, stop zooming in on those screens. It looks awful.
Yep.
Daniel talks about all of the people that he wants to fight. He mentions Apollo Crews, and I'm like, well, why didn't you fight him when he was on SmackDown before they drafted him to Raw last year if you really wanted to fight him? You could have just went and got him from catering, but instead you grabbed Eric Rowan, and then you did a thing with Gulak.
That makes so much sense. So that's not why he did it.
Anyway, Seth Rollins comes out, and he tells Daniel, listen, join me in the greater good. Help me mold these young talents. Help me run this show. Help me fix SmackDown. He's gotten rid of the man bun. He went with the slick back hair look. So he's adjusted his style for his new show. I appreciate that.
Adjusted his name too throughout the savior of SmackDown.
Yes.
Yeah.
Daniel declines, and then we just shit all over the whole segment by bringing out the Mysterios. They come down. Buddy Murphy comes out. Buddy Murphy kind of gets in between them and then attacks Seth Rollins, and Rollins runs away. And then Buddy sticks his hand out to Ray to shake his hand.
At least there was no wife and sister this time.
Should I say it, Travis? Yeah. I said something in the group chat. I don't know if I should say it.
Say it.
Speak your mind.
So when I saw Buddy Murphy reach his hand out, The inference that I got from that was, I beat up the bad guy. Now, is it okay if I beat up your daughter's pussy? And Ray said no. And then Buddy looked at him like, wait, I'm sorry. Can you not see my hand with that one eye? And Dominic said no, and then they left. But that's basically what Buddy Murphy was doing here was, I beat up Seth so I could beat up Aaliyah.
If there was ever an abridged version of WWE on the shows, that would be it. That would be a quote in that segment.
So, and Ray said no. Ray's not about it. He's like, I don't care if you beat up Seth Rollins. You still don't get that Mysterio loving.
Nah. And it's just like, yo, like,
you ain't dropping the dime.
I swear to God, like, if some dude beats the fuck out of me with a kendo stick, my sister better not fuck that nigga. Like,
or take your dad's eye out. Like, if someone tried to blind Harry Pointer,
yes,
you are not getting Tish. I don't care who you beat up after that.
You are not. You are not. I'll kill you first.
Anyway, then we got the Street Profits defeating Rudolph. I guess kind of like this wasn't even really a match.
No, this was for the titles.
I don't even know.
I don't know. It don't matter, man. The Street Profits won. Who cares?
Because I know, but I'm just sitting there saying, like, how the hell did these motherfuckers get 2 title matches on 2 different shows?
They were owed a title match against the Street Profits.
Yeah,
because they won, and then they got pissed off, so they just were given the title shot against the New Day on Monday Night Raw because that's when they were supposed to get the shot.
No, they were owed a Raw Tag Team title match, and they got that and lost against new Raw Tag Team champions. Then got drafted to SmackDown, and SmackDown was like, "Well, fuck, we don't have any tag teams. Do that again."
Yeah, because they had a shot against the Street Profits anyway, so I'm like, yeah, let's go ahead and give them that shot against the Street Profits too. So it's whatever. All
right, Reek.
Yeah.
Bayley and Sasha's contract signing. Bayley, okay. Sasha's not doing it for me in her promos. I don't know why.
It don't matter. Did you see her entrance though?
I did see her entrance.
Yeah, That's enough.
Here's the thing. She's not hitting with me on these promos. Her coming out and saying
her walk is hitting with me though.
Yeah, I know that, Travis. Her coming out and saying you couldn't do any of this stuff without me, despite the fact that Bayley is number 1 ranked in PWI as the best women's wrestler of 2020.
Thanks to Sasha.
Bayley is the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion, I believe, right now.
Thanks to Sasha.
Oh, yeah.
You couldn't do this without me, but what does Sasha have? Bayley's got everything, and I'm supposed to believe Sasha's the babyface in this situation.
Yeah, you're supposed to believe that Bayley got where she is because of Sasha, and
But she's not selling me on it in her promos.
And the
Travis.
thing
I'm not feeling it.
Sasha ended up being a sacrificial lamb in all this because in the end, Sasha was always there for Bayley. Bayley was not always there for Sasha.
Yeah. Let's get that.
That's what they want.
Okay.
They're not doing it, but that's what they're going for.
So this is my thing, right? And the end of the show really punctuated this and drove it home for me even more. This is exactly why I wanted them to wait to pull the trigger on this thing. When Bayley beat down Sasha and tried to decapitate her damn near, they should have wrote her off TV and kept her off. Yes, it's tough to try and drag, a feud and stuff like that and keep it on ice and stuff like that. You had bunch of women get drafted.
You don't even have to drag out that feud. You pretend it doesn't exist until the Rumble.
Right.
Literally just drafted an entire new roster of people for Bayley to run.
Exactly. And that's my point too. It's like you have now all these different people that you can plug into that situation. You could have let Sasha stay out at least until December and, go into the Royal Rumble. But it's like this at one point, the two of them were the hottest thing on TV. But keep this in mind. While they were the hottest thing on TV, Roman Reigns was still off TV. And now that Roman Reigns is back on TV, and this is why I said the end of the show, and you see what this guy is doing now with his character, with his feud. He's blowing the shit out of everything that they had. He just completely stole their thunder, their lightning, their fucking precipitation. So now this just feels like another feud on TV. And and I at one point said that they were so good together. Their chemistry was so good that when they eventually split, they could have a rivalry that could go to WrestleMania. I don't even know if this could go to fucking SummerSlam because Now, this is so cliche, but it's so true. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. When Roman Reigns showed up after the Universal title match at SummerSlam, people lost their shit. And now look at him. Like 5 years ago, we would look at Roman Reigns and say, we don't want to see him main event fucking SmackDown. Now, we don't care where Roman is, just get him on the show and let him do his thing. Sasha has been at this with Bayley in some form or fashion for the last, calendar year now? And they haven't had any breaks in between. So now it's just like we're supposed to go from, Sasha and Bayley, the golden role models and the heels and everything like that, to, okay, Sasha turned on Bayley and now, or Bayley turned on Sasha. And so now Sasha's supposed to be the sympathetic face who was just ganging up on the entire women's roster across 3 different shows. That's not cutting it. That's not going to work. And so you expect people to shift their thoughts and their sympathies over to Sasha now in the span of a month because she got attacked by Bayley. It's not working. You cannot do that. And that's another reason why it isn't hitting. Like, Sasha's never been good, promo-wise as a face. Sasha's never been the sympathetic type. It just doesn't cut it. Like
because she doesn't come off confident in being a face. Right. And she tries to be sincere, and it just comes off cocky. Yeah.
And another thing, they tried this before when Sasha had the feud with Charlotte that lasted for fucking 6 months. And they played up that whole, well, what if she retires because of her knee? Like, it wasn't working. Nobody was falling for it because she can't do that. That's not her thing.
Same reason why you never make Randy Orton a babyface, man.
And I said that too. I told Matt that. I'm like, this is giving me Randy Orton vibes from 2004 when Evolution turned on him. He was not ready to be a face then. It wasn't his character. It's not what he does best. And for Sasha, it's just like, it's not going to cut. But at least if you give her time off and you let people, kind of get her, out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah,
she's there. She'll be back. But just give her some time to refresh and not see her. When she comes back, you have, more of a chance to build off of it. Like, okay, Bayley's been running through everybody. She's still the champ. At some point, it's like, okay, now we want to see a change. And Sasha will come back and she won't have to do the extra mile to make you think, okay, she can do this now. But that's just me.
Completely off subject because you brought it up, kind of. The one thing that I am most excited for because of this draft is that Bray Wyatt may finally get his redemption on Randy Orton on Monday Night Raw from when they screwed him over WrestleMania. I know you did, which is why I'm bringing it up, because you mentioned it and then you brought up Randy Orton, and it is the one thing I need. The Fiend has gone back and retroactively fixed every bad thing that has happened to Bray Wyatt, and the worst thing that has happened to Bray Wyatt is winning the Elimination Chamber and then being defeated by Randy Orton at WrestleMania on the grandest stage of them all, and after terrible
won the Rumble,
House of Horrors matches.
Let me tell you,
it's fucking poetic because if Randy beats Drew at Hell in a Cell, which I think he should, if we're gonna do this in 3s, that means the match will be for the title and Bray can win the fucking title.
Once again, though, that was a great Rumble, though. Like, it was only great because Roman didn't win. And it was just like, because, we talked about this. I was there. And, like, the way the crowd was so upset when Roman showed up in that Rumble. Like, they were so mad. We were ready, like, all of us were ready to boo the fuck out of this thing because we just knew Roman was going to win it. And then Randy got the win, and we went ballistic because it was just like we couldn't fucking believe it. Like, it was just like, it was one of those things, just like when Bray said it in that feud. Anybody but you, Roman.
Well, speaking of which, if we had Roman Reigns from 2020 back then, that I'm spitting tonight, despite what we're about to talk about, is because that the match that took place prior to it should have never fucking happened. And it was the catalyst for what we got that you guys loved. Roman Reigns defeats Braun Strowman, a Raw contracted superstar, for the Universal title for no fucking reason. And I said last week that they shouldn't have this match when you haven't drafted someone, and that they were going to draft him to fucking Raw, and then they did. And they still gave him the title match. I literally, on Monday, tweeted at WWE, cancel that fucking match. You drafted him to Raw, cancel that fucking match for SmackDown. And they didn't do it. So we got this match. Whatever. Roman Reigns beats Braun Strowman, retains the Universal title. Jey Uso comes out at the end, and this is the part that Travis and Reek, and I'll admit, even I enjoy. Roman gets a chair, tells Jey to come and get a front row seat. He says, listen, this is your last chance. You can back out now. Don't make me make an example out of him to show you what I can do to you. If I can do this to him, what do you think I'm going to do to you? Jey did not back out. Roman beat the tar out of Braun Strowman with the chair. Roman then turns his back and gives Jey the chair and says, go ahead. Jey picks up the chair. All the officials come out. Jey then throws the chair down, decides he can't do it. When Roman turns around, Jey attacks. We get a punch. Chair. Roman gets up. Jey catches a Superman punch and is laid flat.
You like the whole, and the whole "I love you" thing too, and all that. You're just like, this is so good. It's just like you love me, no, I love you.
And that's why I tweeted it like right after the show. I'm like, yo, this is gonna be so hard for me to watch Jey Uso get back into a tag team because it's that good. Although I don't know if you heard this already, but the idea is to formulate some kind of stable between like all of them. The Usos.
They need to. Yeah. Once he makes him fall in line, makes him acknowledge him as a tribal chief, the rest of them fall in line. You know, Jimmy comes back. That's the one that's missing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, real quick.
I need to stop doing that. Like I'm doing it on purpose, but it's just like people might think I really don't know.
I have to say something about this draft. So I pointed out, I think in a couple group chats and a few other places, how certain people went to certain rosters and their significant others were going to go. And I got a lot of, well, everyone's in Florida now, so it doesn't matter. But the thing is, we don't know if everyone's going to be in Florida a year from now, and that's what they're setting up. So if you pay attention, Street Profits went to Bianca. Alistair and Zelina went the same place. Andrade and Charlotte ended up possibly in the same place because Andrade didn't get drafted. So we don't even know where Andrade's going. Seth went to SmackDown. Becky went undrafted. All of the couples moved together. What is interesting about that is Naomi's on Raw and Jay's on SmackDown. So Jimmy may be going to Raw, leaving Jay as a single star. And I don't know if I can see Jay going back to being a tag team after this.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Pay attention to that.
However, if they're forming that stable, there's family members missing from the SmackDown roster. Like, Tamina and Nia Jax.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see what they're going to do.
Yeah. They need to form that stable, though, with Roman Reigns at the lead after he humbles Jay and, makes that motherfucker get in line.
This shit is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
once he makes him say, I quit, and acknowledge him as the tribal chief, he falls in line, and the rest of them fall in line. And you got this whole woof.
Did y'all hear thing that Kyle was saying about this with Hell in a Cell? What was it? Oh, now that it has an I quit stipulation, Roman might do some shit like hold Jay over the top of the cell by his neck or something like that.
Yeah, Kyle kept going on about Roman killing Jay. Yes, Roman committing murder. Kyle was all on the murder train.
Yeah, I mean, I see it. Like you
what they should do is they should back in a truck full of hay, and we should redo the Rikishi spot from the Armageddon Hell in a Cell.
I'm with that.
Undertaker and Kane are the only ones that are legally allowed to commit murder on WWE television.
All right, I'm assuming you guys are both swallowing SmackDown.
Oh yeah, I'm swallowing all of it.
I'm assuming you're both going to pick SmackDown as the best show of the week.
Glub, glub,
Yes,
glub,
sir.
glub, glub.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So officially on the Smackin' Raw podcast, despite the fact that I'm going with NXT because NXT didn't have any cross-brand bullshit, SmackDown was the best show of the week.
Definitely.
Yes, sir.
All right. Reek, can you please tell them where they can find the Havoc Hour and Young Kings Wrestling and all of the good shit?
All right. So you can find. Wait. I'm watching Travis because I know he's gonna try to mute me when I start.
My hand is up here, I'm not even on the mouse. So go ahead.
All right.
I mean,
So
I do have two hands, but yeah, no, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
All right. Oh, y'all can find me at ReekHavoc24 And I also have my links to the Havoc Hour and Young Kings Wrestling. And you can find both on Anchor, Spotify, wherever.
The best thing about that was I hadn't even planned on doing it. He put the idea in my head. I wasn't even gonna do it.
You Cameron Grimes yourself.
I got PTSD because it's fucking. I see it all the time now.
You're right.
Oh man, yeah. So
We can still hear you. Keep going.
all right, yeah. So yeah, you can find us on Anchor, Spotify, Google Play, wherever you listen to your podcast. And I also had the Havoc Hour on YouTube as well. Looking to shoot some content probably this weekend, so yeah, stay tuned for that as well.
All right.
What was so great about that is Matt saw me slowly move my hand down to my mouth, and he just grinned.
I knew it was coming. It was happening. You guys can find us on Twitter and Instagram at The Creation World. That is at TheCreatia World. You guys can find Travis on Twitter and Instagram at Sir Cussalott. That is at SIR_CUSSALOTT. You can find me on Twitter only
Jada
at
Fire, unblock me.
That is at MATTRIDDER. And there you will find the link trees for both the audio and video. Linktree /
I'll even subscribe to your OnlyFans.
We'll get you the video version. YouTube view. The subscription's gone up, Travis, since last week.
Nope, because these people are trash.
Okay.
I only do the YouTube version. I don't like listening to audio all the time.
You guys can also find us on Pornhub, where we are the #1 wrestling podcast on Pornhub.
We sure
and
are.
At Facebook at facebook.com/Creation World, which will get you all of the Creation World podcasts, the everything. Facebook.com/group/Smackin' Raw will get you the specific Smackin' Raw group on Facebook, where we have group chats for all of the shows every week, as well as just fun content, memes, and other shit going on there. And Facebook.com/SuperFlashArrow of tomorrow. If you're a DC fan, we should have a new Creation Conversation coming soon. I say that every week, and it still hasn't come out.
Hey. Mind your business. All right.
Okay.
Patience.
Fair enough. Just saying. Okay.
You're not on it anyway, so why do you care?
I know. Anything else, Travis?
Oh, no, that's it for now.
All right. Shout out to JJ, who was really looking forward to me ranting tonight. I hope I did you justice and I entertained you with my anger, because this is just fucking bullshit. And if not, go look at my tweets, because my tweets tonight were not happy. They were all anti-SmackDown. So fuck that show. For Sir Cussalott, Travis Pointer, and Wreak Havoc, I'm the Warden, Matt Ritter. We are Smackin' Raw, and we are the #1 wrestling podcast on Pornhub.
Peace.
Appreciate it, guys. See you.